only read 12 books in the first half of the year, so this is going to be a very minor mid-year book freak out. Honestly, one of my favorite tags to do it every year since it was first created, and I'm pretty sure I did the mid-year book freak out as like my second or third video on my channel, so it's like the 7th year that I've done the mid-year book freak out, but it is just such a standard of booktube now for us to do this. And I'm also sorry that I am getting this video out late because obviously I'm busy. The next stage of moving is I have gotten rid of my dresser, so now my shelves and my wardrobe of clothes that I'm bringing with me, because I've had to pack away 3 boxes of clothes, which feels weird, but I've got enough, hopefully. Like, I really hope that I can fit all that I have out in my suitcase and another bag. I still feel like I have like so many more things to pack, but it's more just like getting it organized to actually take to my grandma's, which is way harder. But as I said, this video is a little bit late because we're nearly at the end of July, so I'm a little bit like, you know, 7-year mid freak out. But as I said, I've only read 12 books in the year. You're gonna get a lot of the same answers from me, but I still hope you enjoy. Our first question is best book I've read so far in the year of 2021, and that absolutely has to be Boyfriend Material by Alexis Hall. I really enjoyed this story so much. This was such an enjoyable audiobook experience, and because I've been quite slumpy through the whole year, considering 12 and 6 months is shit, but it is what it is. I picked up this audiobook because I saved it like ages ago. Like, I fully downloaded it ready to listen to, and then I didn't listen to it, and then I had nothing else to do, and I'm like, well, I downloaded this one, so I should make it priority. And I didn't really have like that many expectations, but when I picked it up, I was so excited. I enjoyed it so much. I love Luke and Oliver. They are such great characters, and I had so much fun with this, and it did give me them red, white, and royal blue vibes, and I highly recommend this book. It was just adorable, and I just had so much fun. Question number 2 is best sequel you've read in the year of 2021, and I have to say Heartstopper Volume 4, just because like it's seeing my boys again. It was so cute and so much fun, and I am still sad that this comic is going to be ending next year because there's only going to be 5 volumes, but this volume was really, really good. I read the first 2 volumes like a couple of years back, and then I had to wait for the 3rd volume to come out, and now it's like the 4th one's come out, and then it'll be the wait for the 5th one. But I feel like these comics have been a part of my life for quite a few years now, but I've just had so much fun. And even though this one was more serious, because there was a more serious topic like discussed with Charlie's eating disorder and his anxiety and his OCD, and just like how Nick was feeling about everything, like there was a lot more like less happy, but also like still a really good volume, and I really enjoyed it. Number 3 is a new release that you haven't read yet but really want to, and I'm gonna say Blade of Secrets by Trisha Levenseller. I bought this book and I really wanted to read it, but sadly I just did not have time, and it's in a box now, so it is not a book that I have got with me. But I am able to listen to the audiobook, and I think I will listen to the audiobook because all of her books I have literally read through audiobooks, and I feel like I want to keep that going. But I have bought the physical copies because Trisha Levenseller writes such like interesting stories, but just hearing the voices is just the best way for it. But I think this is going to be really good. I've been seeing a lot of hype for it. Maybe I'll get to the audiobook before I move into my new house, maybe I won't, but we'll just see how it goes. Number 4 is most anticipated release for the second half of the year, and I have to say Aurora's End by Amy Kaufman and Jay Kristoff. Like, I am beyond keen. I never thought I was going to be this person because like Aurora Rising actually kind of disappointed me, but Aurora Burning brought it back up, and I really hope Aurora's End does not disappoint, because it's going to be so painful that I've been so excited and I've been overhyping it in my head. If it disappoints me, I'm going to be like, no. But there is a really big basis for some really cool shit to go down, and probably some awful shit as well, but like, give me this book so soon, please. Number 5 is Biggest Disappointment, and I'm going to say Bookish and the Beast by Ashley Posden, and I still gave this book 3 stars. But honestly, out of all the books that I read, I didn't actually have any books that were really sucky or really shit. Like, everything got 3 stars, and 3 stars is still a good rating. It's not like I'm saying it's shit, it's just it's an average book. Like, it didn't really like wow me, but it also wasn't shit. That's where that rating goes. I just expected more from this because Beauty and the Beast is my favorite retelling, and I thought that this was going to be better than it was, and sadly I just didn't enjoy it, and I didn't really like the characters, and it was just a bit insta-lovey. And I know that like Beauty and the Beast is like that because they hate each other and something that they like each other and blah 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 blah, but I just feel like there wasn't enough development, and I was just underwhelmed. Number 6 is Biggest Surprise, and I'm going to say Mistletoe and Mr. Right by Sarah Morgenthaler. That's her name. I just thought it was a big mouthful. But this is the second in like the Moose Springs like series. I'm assuming it's going to be a series because I think there's going to be a 4th book coming out, and there could be more than 4 books for all I know. But I'm just happy to keep reading books from this world because it is so much fun. But I just found that like I really enjoyed the tourist attraction. That was really fun. I liked the relationship between Zoe and Graham. I'm pretty sure her name is Zoe. But Lana and... who is the main character in this book? I promise you I really enjoyed this book, but I can't remember his name. Oh my god, who is your name? I just had to Google it. His name's Rick Harding. I remember now, honestly, like as I was Googling and I'm like, Rick. So Lana and Rick had the most adorable relationship. I really enjoyed it because Lana's like this really rich girl, but she always comes to Moose Springs because she loves it there. And Rick works in Moose Springs and he's struggling for money because his pool hall isn't really going as well as it could. So it's like different classes, but they fall in love and it's adorable. And obviously there's issues because like Lana can't really be in Moose Springs all the time. She has to focus on her work, but she wants to be there. Just like, it was so good. It was so adorable. And just the connection and the relationship of these characters, I feel just developed so sweetly. And that's what I really love about these books is obviously you get so many stories and romances where it's just insta love, it happens too quickly, there's no development, it's either just like one way or the other. But these ones, everyone always is really happy to be around each other and they just fall in love. Most of the time these stories, they're friends before they actually end up falling in love, and I just think it's so beautiful. Like I love it so much. Like I highly recommend these books because they're just feel-good contemporary and they just made me so happy. For number 7, favorite new author, I'm just gonna say Alexis Hall, like because they are an author that I've never read from before and I am really interested to see more work from them. I think they have written books before, boyfriend material, but I just feel like as a default answer here I want to say the author of my new favorite book, and honestly I didn't read that many other new authors this year that I could really put here, so Alexis Hall is my choice. So number 8 is newest fictional crush, and I'm gonna say Graham from Shift by Angie Hockman. This is a new one I read this year, another romance. Like I read so many romances this year and I don't even mind. It's becoming my new favorite thing is adult cute romances because they just give me life and they made me so happy. But Graham was just such a little sweetheart and I loved him so much. And of course the premise of this book is they have to go on this cruise for a work thing and think of proposals, but they don't like each other. But Graham never actually hated her. It's from Henley's point of view, she like misinterprets the way that he reacts to her and everything, but he's actually so sweet and he does so many nice things. And also like he's got some issues that he's going through and he hasn't really been like living his life, but he starts to, and I just think he seems like such a cool dude to like be around and be with, and Henley is so lucky. Like he's just such a sweetie and I love him. And also there is some fun things that happen on the ship later that I also really like from his character, but I just think he just seems like a really sincere and caring person, and it's kind of the person I would like to be able to date, so I love him. Number 9 is favorite new character, and I'm going to say Oliver from Boyfriend Material because I just love him so much. Like Luke is great and everything, but I feel like Oliver was just the one that I really enjoyed and I really just had so much fun following his story. And I feel like with Oliver, he's just like got so many layers, and when you first meet him, he does seem like the really preppy barrister and he just seems like the type of person that's never going to lose his cool, but then you just realize that he's actually got so many layers and demons that he's having to deal with and things that he doesn't really want people to know about him. But as Luke starts to just claw his way into his heart in their fake dating. I love this book so much, but like I just think like Oliver's just one of these characters that I kind of really related to, and I just really enjoyed reading from him. And again, the audiobook experience was just so good. Number 10 is book that made you cry. I am just going to put Lord of Shadows here. I didn't cry because I don't cry in anything because I don't have emotions. I would cry in the movie version, but for some reason I just can't make myself cry when I'm just reading something. Like I feel like I need the visuals. Like obviously I mustn't be able to imagine very well in my brain because like I can picture the things that the people are doing in the books, but I also can't. You know what I'm saying? So it's hard. I was just as gutted reading this the first time as I was reading it the second time, and I just feel like it needs an honorable mention because why causes this much fucking pain, girl? Because like that ending is just the worst ending I've read in any of the Shadowhunter Chronicles ever. And people might say different to this because I don't know how Chain of Gold or Chain of Iron or Queen of Air and Darkness or even the Malik books, like there could be more devastating endings, but from what I've read right now, it was just devastating, and I don't even like know how we ended up coping. And I feel like this is a reason why some people decided to wait a little bit with Queen of Air and Darkness, just because it was just such a crazy ending and we kind of all lived with this ending and read it at the same time, and it was just sad. It was just really sad. Number 11 is a book that made you happy, and I just have to say Shipped. I just enjoyed this so much, and I feel like this kind of sparked me a little bit to try and like keep reading, because I didn't know what to read, so I was just trying to pick up different things to try to make me read, and nothing was working. And then I just like latched my eyes onto Shipped, and I'm like, I'm gonna read that book because I really want to, and I think it's gonna be like a really fun read. And it was, trust me, it was so good. I highly recommend this book. It made me so happy. Honestly, everything that happened in the story was just perfect and fit so well, and I really enjoyed the characters and the romance, and just, it was all perfect. I enjoyed it so much. Number 12 is most beautiful book you've received or bought so far this year, and I'm going to say Chain of Iron by Cassandra Clare because it's gorgeous, and I have only bought 15 books so far this year. Actually, I've bought 17 because I bought 2 others that are books that I plan on listening to on audio, but I just pre-bought them, and one of them turned up and the other one didn't, so it may be lost in the mail, and I'll have to like catch that up, but I might do it after I move and figure that out. But Chain of Iron is gorgeous, and I'm pretty sure Grace is on this cover, and I just love it so much. It's so pretty, the color scheme. Like, I am excited to see what the third cover is going to look like. Like, maybe it's going to be Lucy on the cover would be my guess. Like, I'm pretty sure she's a major character because we know that she ends up with Jesse Blackthorne because that's on the family tree at the end of Infernal Devices. But I'm actually really intrigued to know how that happens because he dead. So I don't know what's going on there. But I feel like she could be on the third cover. But yes, this is just so pretty. And like their hair looks so majestic and I love it. And number 13 is what books you plan on reading in the second half of the year. Well, I can't tell you. Don't even ask me. Like, I have my box of books that I'm bringing with me and I made a whole video about it. So that could be one answer. But honestly, I don't give myself TBRs because it's too stressful. It only works for a readathon because you only have to do it for that week or that month. But if I give myself like whole TBRs, it's just too hard. And I already did a video at the start of the year of like, you know, 5 series I want to start and 5 I want to finish. Like, that ain't happening because I'm not reading. So don't ask me, please. It's too stressful. I'm just gonna read what I read and hope for the best. Well guys, that is me for the mid-year book freakout. It just feels weird that this only happens once a year, but it seems to just come around so incredibly quickly every year. Like, how does that keep happening? But I hope you guys enjoyed my answers. I hope that I managed to read more in the second half of the year, which is probably not likely. My goal was 50, so I don't think it's gonna happen as I've only knocked up to 14. So we'll see how it goes. But anyway guys, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.